from the civil society, active citizens, and lately I like to ensure that we greet each other as good afternoon taxpayers. Good afternoon taxpayers. Mmekubali hiyo salamu? Baba would have endorsed salamu ya walipa ushuru. And I stand here, yes, as the executive director of TISA, but somebody who interacted with Baba on several fronts during campaigns, but also during moments when this nation needed leadership, significant leadership of minorities. Baba stood up, and I hope they're in the room, with the Nyayo torture chamber victims, prisoners of conscience who have their headquarters up here in Kabete. Jerry would know them very well, but I fondly remember in the run-up to the 2022 election when Baba visited a home in Kabete. And the protocol team came na wakaanza kukagua masahani, not knowing that Baba was right behind them. He knew all the mothers of the sons who were detained by name. So aliwaambia, akiwachana na mama Kangeve, hawezi niroga, nitakula kutoka kwa hiyo sahani. This is right at the heart of Kabete. He did not fear. He was not worried about connecting with his friends, despite the fact that the people who were around there were more aligned to his competitor. And I see Suba here. Notably, and I know Sophie and Tim are here, that day Baba sang Wimbo wa Mapambano 5 times. He sang Wimbo wa Mapambano 5 times. Every time people would narrate what the Mwakenya movement had done, he would listen in a very thoughtful way. From the 70s, 80s, these were his friends. They had told each other these stories through and through. Then, you know, like how you have a pambio in church. The pambio during this particular visit was Wimbo wa Mapambano. I happen to have worked in this country with people who are known as stateless persons. Stateless persons are people who, for the longest time, and because of the history of colonialism, how they get into the country, out, they are significantly marginalized. A stateless person has no identity. They don't exist. And whereas we trekked to State House to meet the President, Uhuru Kenyatta, before, Baba had told us, please make sure you help as many stateless communities in this country to get an ID. Sometimes I get offended when I hear the stories of Northern Kenya and the vetting of IDs. Because the one person who really spoke about why we need to foster inclusion of all the areas, including Northern Kenya, for the longest time and consistently, was Baba Raila Amolo Odinga. Please, let us memorialize his history and what he stood for in the best way possible. In the best way possible. When it was time to align, we never struggled as civil society, because the things we stood for was what Baba stood for. I work at TISA. We love devolution. We have been to Supreme Court. Now we are in the Court of Appeal on the CDF. What did Baba say on CDF? There are numerous instances where he has pleaded with members of parliament, please just do your work of oversight, representation, and legislation. Let CDF money remain with the governors and the communities. That was Baba. Baba even believed in one county, one product. Hamko mnafuata kampeni ya Baba, by the way? From Baba Care. One county, one product. Baba hated provincial administration. He was very clear that this is what we needed to emancipate ourselves from. There are rumors that is why they couldn't cooperate with him in 2022. Those are rumors. But he always stood for devolution and bringing resources and power closer to the people. Will that dream die now that we are seeing 12 years of devolution and we are yet to transfer and unbundle functions? If anything, the summit now comes together to discuss how we will retain more resources at the national level, be it health, be it market. Surely Baba fought for something that is worth all of us fighting for, so that we finally realize the dream that he had for us. Finally, on debt. And hapa kila mtu mwenye akona chama, nimekuja na gazeti ambayo tunasoma hii wiki, inaitwa The People's Audit. Imesambazwa kwa kila meza, and I will make sure I give it to the newspapers, to the delegates who are here. The People's Audit just finds we are where we are in a debt crisis because of corruption, which we are just calling, it's a nicer name. Kwamchetsi taught me that corruption does not exist in our vernacular language. Is that so? Yeah? Right? I can, now I will not lie. I have seen people who know me for many years. I will not lie. Corruption does not exist in our vernacular. And Baba, when he spoke about debt, he said, what we are doing to the children we have and the unborn children is satanic. Ni ushetani kabisa. Because we are creating a generation of millions of children who will be born poor, while creating a 1% of children who are benefiting from stolen wealth. If you thought economic justice was removed from transitional justice, Baba knew otherwise. It is at the heart of what we are. Today is the International Human Rights Day. The one thing that is taking away from us the realization of human rights. I would have spoken to education or health, but imagine paka polisi hawana pesa sababu ya ni deni, but deni ndio iko hapa juu. Chini ni sababu ya wizi. And I'm told EACC is disputing a figure we have of 3 billion. We are saying we have of 3 billion. We are saying we are losing 3 billion every year. This figure was first calculated by the Kenya Association of Manufacturers last year. Cumulatively, what we lose is 3 billion a day. 3 billion a day. We borrow about the same amount every day. If we were not losing money to corruption, to theft, we would not be in debt. So whether you sell Safaricom or you buy new gold in Kakamega, until you deal with the thieves, we are only addressing the symptoms. And Baba had seen. Didn't he tell us what to boycott? I will stop there. Nimeambua sisi ndio vegetables, and say, Baba rest in power. Long live the spirit of Raila Amolo, long live. Asante sana.